Guys, deluded, different background. I wasn't planning on making this video. I was actually doing something. I'm about to go to the gym. But late inspiration, and I thought let me make a video quick before I forget. I believe this is the most defeats Wenger suffered in a season. I believe he's suffered 12 defeats now. It's more than last season. I mean, how do you manage that? At least we're making some sort of progress, right, on some sort of platform. How do you manage to lose more than last season? I mean, I sat here and said in my last, I've been on this YouTube thing for you might as well say 2 seasons or just shy. I've said we need to learn from the heart of the pain and the hurt of the previous season. We need to fix up away from home. I don't even need to say this at this point because you guys can see and you know what's wrong with Arsenal. And I'm not going to say anything different, but Wenger, there's so many telling different ways, whether it's the goals we've conceded, whether it's our record against anyone that's in the top 6, whether it's our record away from home, whether it's our record in many different defensive ways and attacking ways and all of these sort of things. We're regressing. Clearly, the eyes can tell you whether it's on TV or you go live to see Arsenal. We turn up 5 times a season. And that's not for a team that's in the top 6 on the basis that anyone in that top 6 on theory season on in should be winning the league or should be fighting each other. We're not competitive at all. On one hand, Liverpool and Spurs, they're better than us. They're better than us. If you look at the sides, apart from the attacking players, Spurs, Kane edges it. Other than that, it's about even. And I'm pretty sure both sets of fans will agree. As crap as Arsenal players are, if you look at it as unbiased as it is, and away from the managers and the clubs, them 2 squads, for example, are even. The difference is, and away from Kane because he's 30, them man, they are galvanised for 38 games. They're galvanised. Arsenal or not. Liverpool the same. Their attacking players trump us, but when you look past their attacking options, we should be giving them a better game than we have in recent weeks, recent times since we've played them. Spurs the same. The difference is the management. Them man, they are inspired. Pochettino's inspired his players. I'm pretty sure Spurs fans would get rid of a couple of their players and bring in better quality ones, but the desire is there. Liverpool, it doesn't matter if you're Klavan and them man there or Firmino. Guys are inspired. I know United's getting a lot of stick, but the fact is they're second or whatever at this moment in time. They're going to get Champions League and they just beat Chelsea. So you can kind of say, regardless of for Jose's way of football and the fans might not be happy about it, they somewhat listen to him to a degree. City are doing their thing. We're falling behind. We've lost 12 times this season across everything. Like, we've lost to Cologne, we've lost to Oshasans, which shouldn't have happened. Credit to them for turning up. In the same week, we lost to, on top of resting players and focusing on that, you lost in the final. There's no shame in losing to the final in a final. What is the shame in that is the way we lost in that final. I don't need to go over it again. But if you can see several different indicators pointing to that, you can't do this anymore. I don't know what is. There's a difference between perseverance and persistence and just being crazy, Wenger. You've many a time said, and I admire it, and I try and put that into my own life. You said persistence and these things are underrated attributes in a man, and that's true. It is. I mean, if you never give up, you can keep going, but it's... Wenger, you've run a good race, man. You've run a good race from 06, from 90s when you came in to bringing us Premier League, and numerous FA Cups. You got us to a Champions League final. You're dying by the highest standards you set at the club. In fact, you're trying your best to bring us back to pre-Arsenal, to be honest. But there comes a time where you have to just eat humble pie. Now, do I believe you've tainted your legacy and all of these things? To a degree, of course you have. Clearly, people have said, but on a large scheme of things, I don't necessarily believe that's the case because the fact is he's still an invincible and he brought all of these trophies to us. You're dying now. As a football manager, you're suffering a slow death, and I say that lightly. It's been coming. You should have stepped down in 2014. You could have stepped down numerous times after winning these FA Cups, even last year. You could have done the right thing and stepped down now. There's no shame. You've tried. You've given it. Like, just call it a day. Like, you just... If you really love the club, which I doubt you are, you love yourself now. Like, it's Arsenal FC very much in your head now. You're not doing what's right for Arsenal. You'd step down because you can't do it. Any logical man or someone that was in your position time and time again, which has been in this position and fallen short, whether it's the League Cup on a couple of occasions or the Premier League, they would have brought the defensive mid, the centre half, patterned up defensively, got galvanised players, got people out of the club that were carrying for many of years. I know Theo's not here for an example. I'm not trying to dig him out, but players like that with attribute as to being half the glass half full, half empty. With a lot of these sort of players, you would have done that. You can't. At the end of the day, it all sticks with you. You chose to retain faith in players that are not good enough. You're choosing these formations. You're choosing these tactics, and I don't know what you're saying because the players said they were up for it. The players said they wanted to do it for you, and then they put in a performance like that. I mean, a team is a reflection of the manager. They don't know how to fight because you don't know how to fight anymore. And that pains me to say I love Arsene Wenger, but it's clear as day. You can't do it anymore. Like, you can't. How do you find a way to lose more times than you did last year? I thought last year was bad. I would take 16-17 season over this season right now, man. Because I know the Palace, the West Brom, the Liverpool, all them slappings hurt. But it's the manner and there's not much different. It's just the way that we're losing. It's like, I can't understand it, Wenger. This is how you know you're falling off. You're spending more money than you have done, and the team is getting worse. You got in Kohler, fair enough, free transfer, but heavy outlay when you consider his wages. You've got worse. You signed Aubameyang, it's early days, but he's not having any luck. You've got Lacazette. You signed Perez, whether you think he's good or not, you don't know what you're going to do with him. You signed Mustafi for 45 mil. You scout a player, you know what he's good and what he's bad at. You haven't tried to improve that. You've spent 40 million on Xhaka. Excellent technician, 9 times out of 10, not a lot yesterday, but good at set pieces, can find passes in these things. Is he exactly what we need, that presence? No. Is he a good midfielder? I personally believe so. Could he be a good rotation squad player? Yes. But is he directly what we needed? Of course not. You've signed Holding. You don't know what you want to do with Holding. One minute you want to play him, then you don't. Chambers. You brought him, initially you played him at right back, you played him at centre half, you played him in defensive mid, you played him everywhere. He went and rebuilt his confidence somewhat at Borough. You've come back, he's had some injuries, you're doing the same crap to him to a degree, to be honest. You don't know what you want to do with these players. Bielik, he's had some injuries, yes, but you don't know what you're going to do with, man. Maitland now, shout out to his performance against Liverpool, was decent at left back, and he's right at full back. But you don't know what he wants to. You don't know what he wants to do. He's being killed from not playing centre midfield at the highest level, seeing the mistakes that can't be made, etc. Like Holding, you can only learn from playing. You don't know what you want to do with the squad. Like, we've got around 5 defenders now, to be honest with you. Koscielny, they're young and old, but Koscielny, Bielik, the new Greek guy, Holding, Chambers, Chafe that's been spoken about. There's about 5-6 players that are spoken about as having a future at centre half here. Of course, that's great in regards to us fans, because you the best prospects are gonna hit where are gonna prosper, and then as a fan you want to have the best prospects or the best players, and if not, sell players that are good but not good enough to make it here and make some money. That's all good, but we don't know what we're doing. Our fullbacks that are on the pitch, shout out to Monreal, Koscielny, Kohler, because they're getting assists and goals and things. But 9 times out of 10, when there's no whip from the fullbacks, Bellerin's got no competition. So between not wanting to improve or not knowing how to improve or how to respond to competition, he's not doing that. Left back, we don't know. Sometimes it's Maitland-Niles. 1 minute Wenger like Kohler, now he doesn't. Monreal's a centre-half and then a centre-back at times. I mean, we've seen players played all over the place. We've seen Kohler centre-half at a time this season. Maitland-Niles at left-back. We've seen how much chopping and changing. I mean, look at the earlier weeks, man. We've seen Holding coming in out the side, Chambers coming in out the side, Maitland-Niles shoehorned at left-back. We even saw when Ox was here, Ox was at right-back, Bellerin at left-back. We don't know what we want to do in defence. We really don't know. Back 3, back 5. If you're going to play them things, you need to be a competent midfielder. I'm always seeing our players grab shirts. Why don't we take it old school and make in training our centre-halves hold tennis balls to stop them from grabbing shirts on a Sunday? Simple things like that. Me, humble guy in my bedroom, humble guy, I don't get paid a penny. And I do not have the knowledge Wenger does in the game, as much as I think he needs to fall less. He needs to step down and he's falling off. Let's not be silly. The knowledge he has, we'd love it and we'll never have it. But if I can work this out, Wenger, you can. And you are selfish. You're an intelligent man. You're an intelligent man. You're an intelligent man, and you know this is all selfish because you know you couldn't do these things at other clubs, and it's disgraceful. Teams below us that will never achieve the mediocre success that we're by rating as fans have shown more heart. Look at Bristol against City. They went out, but they played with some heart. Look at Wigan, heart. Look, even a couple times in the league where City have actually beat the other team, but they've had some heart, commitment. It's taken them around 80 minutes. Look at Newcastle. How long did it take Newcastle when City came to their place to be broken down? They lost 1-0, maybe 2, I can't remember, but they took a while to be broken down. Yeah, it was atrocious and City were just coming forward, but there was some heart and commitment. Newcastle, was it against United they took 3 points? You saw the passion. If you have no heart and commitment in England, you can't get anywhere. You cannot get anywhere. It's not about being a good footballer in Britain. That's why do you think you saw Ozil being killed? It wasn't right, but he's an excellent technical footballer. People in Britain or England don't necessarily want them things. Us as football fans, we want passion and heart and commitment as well as the technical ability. Arsenal will always get technically great footballers and have that, but until the heart, passion, downright pride in the shirt, like until these things return, we can't achieve anything, people. We will never achieve anything, and it's only going to get worse. Like, we are a top 6 club now, the bottom of the top 6. We're more or less a top 10 club, and it pains me to say, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope in a couple months or a year or 2 from now, I look at this vid, I'm like, DG, you was really tweaking, talking nonsense. But does it look like the case, people? Because you look around at the squad, is there one player you can say is going to galvanise the team? No. Looking at Ramsey, Ramsey didn't play well, particularly on Sunday, but his contract's up. Why would you want to sign a new deal here unless you're going to get a healthy payday? Why would you want to sign a new deal? Whether it's going to be a squad player or not, on the basis that whether these rivals want him or not, we've let rivals go in recent windows to rival clubs. So by that logic, Ramsey can go anywhere, you know. Ramsey, look at his season, how much goals he's bringing in. He's got to want to go. He's got to want to go. His agent or his people around him have got to be sitting around him and doing this. And what hurts me more is I know these men are not they're going to still take the day off. They should really be in training. They're going to take this day off again. They're going to be back tweeting back soon and all these fancy images. They're going to be back tweeting. They're going to be back saying, Arsenal fans together, we need your heart and all of this. Arsenal fans were together, you know. Notice how you never heard no Arsenal, no Wenger in, no Wenger out, none of the nonsense surrounding Bellerin and Arsenal Fan TV, nothing. For 90 minutes, man, we're just saying we know. In fact, man, like me, man, we're saying we're going to lose. But if we go down fighting, it's calm, we'll take that. Everyone was united for a second. And then divided we fall. Like, divided we fell. Like, the players were divided. I don't understand this. You had a dress rehearsal of sorts against Spurs in the sense that is a cup final. Our season depended on that. It's a North London derby, it's at Wembley. Spurs will never get into a final, so we brought them to one. Spurs fans, I love you. I had to get your buzz here, man. I know you're enjoying this. But there was a dress rehearsal. Do you not see how poorly you played there and then bring it true? Aubameyang, I love Aubameyang, but he's got to be thinking Wagwan now. He was pretty poor as well, but he's got to be thinking Wagwan with this club now. And even him, he said that I saw him speak the other day, like people that say we don't want to win, they should see a change rooms. Brother, did Arsenal tell you to say that, or are you actually saying that? Because you're tweaking as well if you think there's some winners surrounded by you. There's men that would like to win, but they won't die to win. Yesterday was a case of dying to win, running when you don't want to run. For the attacking players, I'm sure you want to be in the final third in the glamorous positions, but tracking back like we did in the FA Cup against Chelsea when you saw Ozil tracking Hazard. You never saw none of that yesterday. You never saw none of that. And until you do that on a consistent basis, you won't achieve nothing. At this moment, there's nothing to be saved from the season. Yeah, you could turn around and say, if God would allow us to win Europa League and then somehow you're in the champs, will be a joke next season in that. But that would be a good season. But there's nothing to be saved, man. Mathematically, top 4 is possible, but you know that's a myth, and that's even an understatement, me saying that. So there's nothing to be saved from the season. Like last season, for me now, we've got what? Last big games include United away at Old Trafford. For me, just putting a performance against them. We're not going to win Europa League, but just try putting a performance in the Europa League. In regards to the domestic campaign, you might as well just give the likes of Maitland-Niles a proper run in midfield so he can get some education under his belt. Holding hasn't been in good form, but the same goes for Holding. Might as well just give Reece Nelson. We're dying to see Reece Nelson. Give him some chances. He definitely wouldn't have played any worse than any of these attacking players on Sunday. Someone that actually wants to play football. The likes of him and Joe Willock, and I think Joe Willock got a little knock, but the likes of these guys, them and Nketiah, give them some chances, give them experience, man. You never know what they could do. They're young players, they're hungry. They might actually put some pride into the shirt. They'll get some experience. If some can become first-team players, great. If the others can't, then go. We might as well give players that want to be here, players that want to put some pride in the shirt, and that's typically young players in times of tragedy. And you guys know I love young players, so I'm always going to sit here and make every excuse under the sun to play young players. But are you honestly going to tell me Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, whatever youngster would have done any worse than any of them senior 100 grand a week, however many caps for their country, top bracket players in the grand scheme of professional footballers, would they have done any worse? I really don't think so. I really don't think so. For one, Reece Nelson can actually cross the ball, so he would have done better than certain youths on the right-hand side. So, yeah, and then Nketiah has shown he can finish, whether he'd have a good game or not. Like, you just want to see some passion. There's not much more to be said, man. Shout out to the young G's, Willock, and Nketiah, and Nelson, man, and Maitland-Niles. But other than that, guys, Deluded, Guna, YouTubes, and Golo Kante, I'm signing out, getting the comments and do the rest.